You're listening to Big Blend Radio with Nancy and Lisa, the mother-daughter team and publishers of BigBlendMagazines.com, which includes VacationStationMagazine.com and EatDrinkBeMerryMagazine.com, and that's where Linda Kissam, she posts her stories, and you can listen to her radio interviews with us. She is the food, wine, and shopping diva. She's a professional travel, food, and wine writer. She's a professional diva.
And now she's foraging.
and she's just come back from foraging in the forest in Bellingham, Washington. You can read her articles as well if you go to her website, winechicks.com, and there's an X in there. So it's winechicks, CHIXS.com, and thewinebuzz.com. There's 4 Z's in there. Diva Linda, how are you?
I'm very good. How about yourself? Let's play that song again. I thought that song was rather...
Do you like
the butt pan?
Do you want us to play the butt pan again? Do you have to nominate someone?
Oh, so many, so little time.
I know. That's my Rants and Raves show. See, I had to bust that out because I was getting so mad. I was just like, this guy, is a butt pan. How can you...
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, my God. Well...
Well, there we are. And you know all about the national park stuff we're doing because you travel around with us on those too. And we're very excited. I know that you're going to come out to Tucson. We're going to plan some fun. We're going to go from Tucson to Temecula as part of our Juan Bautista National Historic Trail. We're going to be doing that with you. So very excited about that, Diva Linda. You want to go foraging in the Saguaro Desert with us?
Well, I've done it once. I can do it again. Absolutely.
Oh. So Nancy and I, as soon as we heard you went foraging, we want to know. And I'm going to, I should have called Basic Boy on the show for this because you know how you two always go back and forth. And, the first thing he's going to say is, did you forage with 5 bags and did you, bring your hair
and your lipstick?
Yeah.
Tupperware.
Oh.
So the last couple times I've been on, I've been talking about foodie walks and going on downtown foodie walks, whether you go with a group or by yourself or whatever, and you visit various places to eat inside the city on a kind of an escorted tour. And so now that's getting to be old stuff. Now we have to go out and actually forage for our dinner. And in Bellingham, we were, now I have to say I didn't raise my hand to do this, but I did do it, and I'm glad I did. When I heard we were going to go through a forest in near Bellingham, and pick up some items for dinner, I, of course, thought, there must be a supermarket or something, but no, and there wasn't a. So I've got my $250 Brighton shoes on, and Now stop your laughing, and. So she gives us, Jennifer Hahn, who is the naturalist that guided us through this, gave each one of us a little Tupperware container and said, you're going to gather some items today for tonight's dinner, and it's going to be about an hour walk, and I'll tell you what to do and where to go and all that kind of stuff. So, in a group of 7 or 8, you have those that love doing this and going amongst the spiders and the dirt and the whatever's in the forest, and you have those of us who, was hoping it was going to be a whole food. I thought it was going to be a whole food experience, but maybe not so much. But in the end, it was. You two would have loved this, up the hills and down the hills.
It sounds like
over
the.
Oh yeah,
I would have really enjoyed it. Priscilla, what about Priscilla?
Oh yeah. Oh no, definitely. She would have been just fine. You couldn't be. You could have put her in some of those silly berry bushes we were in, but we were. I don't know. We're eating all sorts of strange things, stuff your mother said never to touch. Now it's just on the fine list. Oh yeah, I was just on the fine list. I just know you two would have loved it. The experience wasn't lost on me because in the end I did have a good time and my shoes, survived. So it was all good. But a foraging event, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, is seriously there's what Jennifer did was she has a very, very good relationship with a restaurant in downtown Bellingham called Kyo Time, and these people are very, very into having dinners that are produced locally with local food. Well, I don't think you can get more local than going around in the forest. So I don't know. It's very interesting. They tell you what to pick and show you how to pick it, and you pick it, and then they take all your Tupperware away from you, and then about 8 hours later, you show up at the restaurant, and there's all this wonderful, fabulous tasting fruit from all this forest stuff that you picked.
No, but this is really exciting to me because it's almost like Chopped. It's like, what's in your basket, go for it, And I love that show just for that. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, from forest to Chopped,
That's good.
And but I love that, and it's kind of like a challenge for them. And then you have the chefs who sit there and go, okay, well, this is what came in. But this is very much, this is how we used to live, back in cave days,
Yep.
And it's kind of like going to the islands too, where you can go fishing, and then the restaurant will actually cook your fish for you that night.
Yes. Yes, and
so this is
and I think, after I was, cleaned my shoes and got out of the spider webs and all that kind of stuff and handed over my Tupperware thing and then had all this wonderful food. What I'm sensing, which I really, really like, is these meals are not huge. In other words, they can be 6 to 15 courses long, and we'll probably talk about the 16-course one I did also. But they're just little tiny bites, just like think of a large radish, and maybe that's as big of a bite as it gets for the first 3 or 4 courses. So you're not overwhelmed with food and so stuffed with food that you can't enjoy what you're having. And the wine pairing is always local wines, and that is amazing in itself. So I would say that this seems to be the up and coming thing. I'm going to be talking about it at some travel and adventure shows. And I'm going to have to get the right clothing, though, for the Travel and Adventure Show. I don't know exactly what a wine diva who forages wears, but I'll figure it out. It's all good.
I'm going to call Michael and Spider because they're getting ready for your visit here because I told them, you're coming. They got all excited.
All right. And tell them to get some Tupperware.
Yeah, I'm going to tell them about this because, they'll find you some kind of tiara. They're still looking for Priscilla's perfect tiara for, seeing you again.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking that you could wear, who's the woman who has, fruit in her head?
Well, do you remember there's a picture that I think that I sent of Jennifer, the woman who sort of walked us through this foraging event with the big, it looks like a huge leaf. Do you remember seeing that? Yes, that's a skunk cabbage, and apparently you can weave things with skunk cabbage. So I think I could have an all-natural tiara. Just have to work at it a bit.
We went to a party where they did that to us. We walked in, and we were with our friend Lori, and it was a summer solstice thing, and we're going, okay, what's this going to be about, Mm-hmm. And everybody looked at us going, okay, what are you doing? And they put things on our head, and then, it was interesting, flowers, and then, and we're so laid back where we started fighting over our flowers. But anyway, if Nancy has a daisy, I got to have one. But this is exciting because, I know that you lived up in the Seattle area, and you've been to, I think you were in Seattle this year. I can't keep up with you, Diva Linda, but what was this area like for you, having lived out there? Because you've been to Bellingham before. Was this kind of a different take?
I got to see a different side of the Northwest. I've spent several times in the San Juan Islands, and I've spent a lot of time in Seattle area doing the wine thing and so forth. But actually spending time in Bellingham, spending time, not just driving through it and, going to a restaurant, that doesn't count. This time I actually spent almost 7 days there, and all the wonderful activities. This is a place the last time I went there was 2 years ago when I went on my boat trip, and we ran out of supplies, and I needed to run into the town in Bellingham. And it almost, to me, 2 or 3 years ago, looked like a ghost town. Now, coming back, it's a vibrant college town now. It's got wonderful, I love college towns. We've talked about that before. As much as I love small lot wineries, I love college towns. I should move to a college town.
I can't wait for you to come here then.
Yeah. So anyway, I think the best things happen in college towns, and so I'm really glad that I especially got to do this foraging event. And then the next event that followed up with it was the 16-course dinner on Lummi Island. at the Willow's Inn. Now, that was another experience, somewhat similar, except I didn't have to, get any Tupperware stuff to give to the chef. He did it on his own.
I was reading about that 16-course dinner and the Willow's Inn, and I'm going, oh my gosh, who knew? I know you had a lot of fish, but who knew that they did pickled oysters with sorrel or toasted kale with black truffle and rye? Wild berries and grasses. Okay, so I'm
is that what you put in your Tupperware?
No. Did they make you pick grasses to eat?
No, that one is Lummi Island is owned by the Lummi tribe, and they hired a 26-year-old chef. This is one of these guys that do what chefs are supposed to do, come out of cooking school and go to Europe and learn all sorts of European cooking things. And then they do really well over there, and then they come back, and he came back to the Northwest, which I think is where he was brought up, and they hired him, and whereas they couldn't get anybody to come to this restaurant before, now it takes, months, weeks and months to be able to have this experience. This 26-year-old guy has just changed this around so much, it's just unbelievable. When you see a picture, and I think I sent it to you, you can't believe how young this guy is, and yet to watch they were kind enough to put our table where the writers were right next to the kitchen so we could actually see how do you put together a 16-course dinner for, I think they're probably in the entire restaurant were probably 80 people. How do you do that? That's one course after another after another. And the kitchen, you would think, would be just chaotic. And yet it was calm and it was serene. It was a very interesting experience. And the chef says, he wants to honor the Native American way of eating and thinking and all that. So if you look at the menu, it's a foraging menu, definitely. Things that one could go out and get. And I don't know. It was amazing, and still after 16 courses, I was not stuffed to the gills. I was full, but very just small shots of food and great local wines. And what I liked about this, I think for these 16 courses, you could pay a basic $125 or so. Then if you wanted wine paired with it, you could add, I think it was another $55. And if you didn't want wine, you could do juices. So they would pair juices instead of wines with this.
Ooh, that's really interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
No.
Yeah. Well,
with each course.
Juicing's such a huge deal now, and it should be. It's really good for you. But I want to ask you, you had blueberries with woodruff and malt. What's woodruff?
It's a leafy thing. It's green. It's leafy. It's a leafy thing. That's the best the wine even knows how to explain. Like sorrel, it's green and leafy.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is neat. And now the wines, because you also went to some wineries, and I just love this because Glacial Lake, Missoula Winery. Just think of Glacial Lake. Don't you just want to go?
Good.
I want to go just over the name.
Refreshing.
And Linda, this is, I'm still one of those. So maybe this is I'm channeling, my little girl spirit. I do have one, believe it or not. I'm not always a tomboy, but I do buy wine by the names and the labels.
Oh, yeah.
I'm one of those people, and I'll go to a winery because of their name.
You too. You put a moon on a bottle and it's fine. I don't care how much it costs, I'll take it home. I like moons, so works for me.
I'm with you on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh. Wow. Ooh, listen to that.
Okay, so what was the wineries like? Because you were talking in your article, and everyone, this is going to be featured on EatDrinkBeMerryMagazine.com. You were talking about there was the one winery, Dynasty, however you want to say it in this country, Dynasty Cellars, that they were Dynasty Cellars. Excuse me. Excuse me. Did I get the butt pan sound wrong?
Oh, good.
Yeah, right. But he's mixing old world winemaking techniques with Washington varietals. So that sounds really interesting to me.
It's very interesting. The Missoula people, I think they were in Blaine, Washington, and they came highly recommended. Let me just start there. So Blaine is almost in, it's about as far as you can go before you get into Canada. And those wines came highly recommended, but our experience was not wonderful. I think those wines have a little ways to go. The next one were more Russian-inspired wines, Vartanyan, and I think Margarita is from Siberia, and so she immigrated, and her wines, I think, have a lot of promise. Her son helps her, and I thought those wines were very good. Mostly reds. We're tasting mostly reds. I thought we would see more whites, but no, we saw mostly reds. And most of these grapes, of course, are coming from Walla Walla, not what the Western Washington or the Seattle area and Bellingham area really buy their grapes from Walla Walla, which is on the other side, the warmer side. So and then I like that a lot. Very nice piece of property. This is the second time that I've been there. This time meeting the owner, and she was really something. Really, I mean, just meeting her, it's just one of those, it's like, I'll buy wine if it has a moon on it. I would just buy wine from her because I liked her and I liked what she was trying to do. But the winner of the three that we visited on that day was Dynasty, and this is a guy, another immigrant, and he is mixing old world techniques with new world ways and new world varietals. And I'm telling you, I'm thinking we have a winner here. His reds were superb, really good. And, they still have a little bit of ways to go, but of what I've tasted, besides Mount Baker wines, this guy, I think, is, if you're an investor and he wants money, I'd give it to him. He's really good.
Wow.
Really.
Wow, that's saying a lot.
Wow.
And this is neat because, we've done the limo, driving. We were talking about that the other day on yesterday's show about going in the limo through the orange orchard in Terabella. I still love that experience.
That was wonderful.
But I found some musicians that I think their music has to go in that limo. I'm just like, it goes with that area.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just really, there's this whole...
Let's make up some wine limo music and make a gazillion bucks. Where's Misha when we need him? That's what we need.
Yeah, let's get Misha to do it. He could do it.
He could do it. Yeah.
He rocks. He's one of the best guitarists. He truly, he has that factor. He's an insanely good guitarist, and I like it because he's got the technique down, but he's got the emotion, and he really bends the notes. I love that. I just, But going back to the limo, we did the limo thing with you, but you went around. Now, you didn't drive because I think this is always good, that you can just go have a good time.
Right.
So tell us how you went around. And you went on a shuttle?
Oh, there's a outfit called Whatcom. What was it? Whatcom.
Oh, the Whatcom Wine Tours.
Tours. Whatcom Wine Tours. And this is a retired couple. What are we going to do when we retire? Work. That's that's everybody's new mantra. So they had a shuttle that took. I think there were 5 of us that went, and as usual, when somebody puts you in a shuttle and takes you to the winery, they give you a little bit of history before you get to the winery. They sort of watch you as you're in the winery to see if you're having a good time, and if you're not, they sort of gently try to figure out from the previous conversation in the van what would probably make you happy and suggest that. And that's what these people did. They watched over us. I thought it was quite wonderful. They had decided of the 3 wineries we would have a picnic lunch at the second one, the Vartanyan, and that was out. I mean, it was beautiful. The mountains, the vineyards, everything. It was a gorgeous experience. Simple food, but really gorgeous atmosphere. Loved it. And so we went to 3 of those, and the only thing I've not ever seen before is he had some sort of issue with his insurance, and so you absolutely had to wear your seatbelt, which I agree 100%. But he said there have been people who either sort of take it off, slide it off when they're driving with him, or take it off or whatever. So he had some sort of lock. He had some sort of locking mechanism. So once your seatbelts are on, you're on until he unlocks you. Never
there's actually, that's kind of freaky, but in a way,
it is.
Because
That's
think about, people get a little rowdy.
Yes, they do.
So,
So I've seen everything. By God, I've seen them all. I've seen them, open
that's
the door
why
and
you get
people
to be
just
the
fall
diva.
out. That's right. Yeah, so I guess, it's not so bad locking your people in, but anyway, but I would recommend Watson Wine Tours. They were on time, which, of course, for me is the big deal, and they were personable, and they watched our every move, in other words, their guests' every move, to make sure that we were having the experience that we were paying for, and,
cool.
I like them.
That's good. And one thing I want to talk was the Fairhaven district. It seems that there's, even Magdalena's, I would say Magdalena's creperie. When you're thinking, she's Polish, so you must have enjoyed that too. Yes. There's so much European influence, but like Fairhaven, you said was very European-like. But now that area to me, I love quaint European towns.
Yep.
I love it. I really, really do. Now this though, you say you're actually able to take. This is where we have to go when we take the ferry to Alaska on the tour.
Yes.
And next year is the centennial celebration for the ferry, and they've actually made the waterway like an American waterway,
a roadway,
American road.
even though it's a waterway. It's
and
a
these
roadway.
ferries, I want to go on that ferry. I've had this dream since I was a little kid, and I read this book in Alaska, and they had this dude with his guitar just sitting out there. It's not all, it's not the cruise ship experience, but he's
no.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
I want to take my sleeping bag and sit out there with my guitar.
I'll donate Tupperware.
Okay, and berries.
Okay, now then I have to say this. This is an idea.
Did you eat purple berries when you?
I have an idea here for the diva and the basic boy. Basic boy being the global Henry Renaki, who has traveled in like over 120 countries and sleeps on the street, and has one green sweatshirt and a pair of shoes,
Simon Cowell shirt,
some dirty socks and a backpack,
and dirty jeans.
Whereas
the
diva has 2 or 3, 4 maybe suitcases and a lot of stuff. So here's the thing.
I see Nancy's cartoon series coming out next.
No, I have because you've done a video together, and now I think that the follow-up should be, since you have an edge on him now with foraging experience, because I don't think he's foraged.
I
think we should.
She's foraged and ferried.
We should have the two of you go to a forest.
I have the good
and forage with your Tupperware, okay?
Yes.
And then bring it back, and we will get a chef to cook it and see who wins.
Oh, my God. Now,
Would that be fun?
That would be fun. I'll do that. Okay.
I'm filming it.
Okay.
However, can I hire somebody to forage for me if I give them directions?
No. You get to just forage. You have the experience of what they told you to pick. Look for some.
I know. Why did you?
Things.
No, wait. Why did you just make Henry forage for you?
And then I know the chef I want to cook this, and that would be
Chef Piquel.
Well, we could do Chef Piquel. Yeah.
Well,
he would know, that's poisonous, Linda. Don't bring it in here again.
Yeah. Well, I have a whole book of Jennifer's recipes.
Oh.
So maybe
this could be done.
So this could be done.
Right.
When are you bringing her on a show with you?
But we have to find a forest.
Good. Oh, you'd love her. Oh my God, she's PhD of everything, but really, really smart, and she has real hiking boots. I mean, I was impressed.
Real hiking boots.
She did.
I love. You got to have your boots.
So we have to find a forest, and I'm thinking the forest has to be close to the chef. So if there's a forest in Temecula, because you got to take the stuff to the chef.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm trying to think. The forest could be my backyard. That way it wouldn't ruin my shoes. But okay.
Was that your dog? Was that your dog in the background?
There you go. Now, that is my dog. It's 15 minutes to walk time, so she's renting that. Sorry.
I'll get your shoes on.
You're gonna go foraging?
I had designer walking shoes, so it's just fine. Not to worry.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Do you have? Diva Linda, we're being really bad on the show. I just want to know, do you have like flashing little rhinestones on your designer walking shoes?
Well, yeah. Why are you asking? Yeah, of course.
Well, I'm just checking in to make sure. Okay, do not doubt the diva.
But now I will say they don't. I didn't go overboard. They don't like light up or anything. They don't sing, not like that. But they do have a bit of bling with them.
So I want to go back to the creperie, and then we got some great music coming on. But the Magdalena's. Because, you've been on the show before talking about, your ancestry. So when you go into all these European feeling places, because she had the Polish side, and you also said she's got a little bit of French influence.
Yep.
What was this like for your palate, for you, just as an individual, knowing that part of what you're eating is part of your heritage? You ate your heritage. How did it feel?
Yeah, I think I ate my heritage. There you are. Well, I mean, I had the right outfit for for eating crepes, so not to worry. So I was good. But what's interesting is it's interesting to see somebody that's 100% Polish, and because my sister and I have certain characteristics, but we have some mixed English stuff in there too. But a lot of the Polish people have a certain kind of a blue-green eye characteristic that others don't have. So, the first time she looked at me in the sunlight, I thought, oh my God, look at that. That's homeland. I know that may sound a little strange, but that's what I thought. And then I recognized some of the sauces she was using and so forth, and she just, some people say Polish food's not all that great, but I got to tell you, this woman knows how to cook, and it would be really great for you and Nancy if you could stay at the Fairhaven Inn and walk 30 feet and go to this creperie, and you could go around the town. I mean, this is a really special experience.
Cool.
This is one of these places that does coffees with, designs on them and all that sort of stuff. But basically,
that's fun stuff. Ooh.
Yeah, and it. I mean, her. Cool. I think you saw. I sent you many pictures. I think I sent you a picture of her, and I sent you a picture of the food. I mean, it's world class. There's absolutely no doubt about it. You feel and it's done in a sort of a very small bistro setting, so that you're not overwhelmed in a huge cafeteria style place. And just really, I mean, here's an attorney. She was an attorney in Poland, and she left for love and came over to the U.S. And it's a very romantic story. And I think there's an internet connection there and all that. But she came over with the husband and just didn't want to do the getting recertified here in the U.S. and all that. And what was her other love was food. So they decided to open this creperie. And I mean, it's not just good, it's magnificent. And I know the two of you would absolutely love it, and you would love Magdalena. She was absolutely wonderful. And the husband's just this romantic goofball. I mean, he's just fabulous. You would just love him. He's
awesome.
do you
ever feel you want to write a book after, when you travel and you meet people, they kind of give you that inspiration to write a story,
Yep. I'm sure you've met couples that have been married a while, and the bloom is off and all this. But this guy's so in love with her, it's just crazy. I mean, it's just
that's sweet.
Crazy. Yes,
that's sweet.
And she's typically Polish, saying, get out of my way, I'm doing stuff. And it's just really, she has lovely assistants that help her, that care as much about the food as she does. And
excellent.
That's one of those special places, and I did not have to forage, so it was all good. All I had to do was just roll out of bed and walk about 30 feet, and I was there. It was all good.
With your glitter shoes.
Well,
I love this.
And I'm very serious about the diva forage.
I know.
Versus the basic boy.
We're gonna do something with this.
Yeah, Nancy gets something in her voice, and it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. You can try talking around it, but not going to work. I know.
Trust
me.
As the daughter, I know.
You know it's a good idea.
She's a Taurus. She's a bull. She's like, I will not let this drop. See?
Oh, my sister is one of those. Yes, no wonder. Okay. Yes,
no matter what, we get our way.
Well, Diva Linda is a Virgo, and us Virgos rock. We do.
I know, but us Taurus people, we get our way.
Oh, gosh, she's already got her hand in her fist.
Got it right there.
My gosh.
See?
It's the butt pan song thing.
I've got the I break through negotiating fist right there.
Yeah, right. No, but that's not a fist. His hand is open. That's an open palmed hand.
Yeah, well, mine's closed right now because it's a done deal.
Oh, see? Gosh. All right. Diva Linda, it's time that we had a glass of wine with you. We miss you. We haven't seen you
We
for
miss
a few
you.
months.
Oh, no, there's not a week. I miss you, too. I was thinking of my shoes. Well, my shoes, and I miss you, too. Yes. And I got a new backpack. Yeah, no, and I got a new designer backpack, so I'm all good. So it's another piece of luggage, which I think Basic Boy would like because it has two uses. It's lovely and it's a backpack. So
Wow.
You know, maybe I'm making some improvements here. Who knows?
I think so.
I'm going to have to send him this interview.
Yeah, we're
going to have to. He's flying his plane, well, Richard Branson's plane right now, but, you know, he's captaining the airspace,
yes.
you know.
We'll have to issue a formal challenge.
Yes. I'm going to send him an email. Get off the plane and listen to Diva Linda. She's got new shoes and a designer backpack.
And she challenges you to forest in the
forest. Oh, my God.
I think it's Nancy that's trying to do the challenge here. But, you know, maybe when we all get to here in Temecula, I'll talk to Chef Steve Piquel over at Thornton Winery, and we'll see if he'll do this, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe he might be up for that. Who knows? Well,
I think it'd be fun.
I like it. I like it.
At the very least, we can forage at the local farmers market.
Right on.
No,
we could go forage at Andrea's on her farm.
Yeah.
No, it's got to be foraging in the forest.
Well, here we can eat mesquite beans. We've got to run, Diva Linda. We've got to run. But
thank you.
I tell you what, I want to give out the website for anybody traveling up to Bellingham, and I want to go now. I really want to go forage, and I want to go on my ferry with my guitar.
Yep.
Bellingham.org is the place to go. That's for Bellingham, Whatcom County Tourism. So go check that out. And, of course, this is going to be posted up on eatdrinkbemerrymagazine.com. So sign up for the Big Blend News. Also, I'm telling you, everybody, sign up today because you'll get the link for the interview with Ryan Bingham from yesterday. I'm just going to keep going on and on about that.
And the challenge.
Dream come true, you know. So
you'll get the challenge between Diva Linda and Basic Boy.
Yes, that's right. Keep up with the Basic Boy and Diva Linda. Diva Linda's coming back on the 29th to talk about Kansas and her red shoes.
Urban Kansas, not flat plains. Urban.
Looking forward to that. Thanks so much, Diva Linda. It's always fun.
Nice to talk to you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Take
Cheers.
Care.